It's showtime.
Live from somewhere. Okay, hey,
Na
what's going on?
na ka
Naka naman.
naman.
Naka naman.
Tingnan naman natin ang ano, dito pala. Tingnan natin. Let's look at the new and improved
The new and improved beginning to the end.
camera. Look at that. Would it be so weird if I put my hand like this and then a hand comes out on your
Yeah,
end?
that would be really spooky as heck. I mean, I would like literally see that window right there. I'd be jumping out that window.
I would jump out too. I'd pull my hand out like that and be like, whoa.
I can't. I mean, that would be.
Hey, hey,
I-
look. We haven't even started the show yet. Somebody from Bohol wants to join in already. Are
Who?
we talking about Bohol today?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Shout out to Dagan. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Dagan, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about your hood right now. We're going to be talking about Bohol. Anyway,
Are we sending him the link or making him wait?
let's see what's going
I
on.
think
But,
the fact that the guy is here, I think that calls for a link.
Send him the link. Let me go ahead and start this up real quick.
Go for it.
I think it's two guys from two. Hold on, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do that one. Okay, I wanted to start.
How many times have we done this?
I know. Relax. Okay, hold on.
I got 0 friends.
Two guys from two sides of the world. The FlipSide with Jay and Noel. You can catch us live online on YouTube and Facebook Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays. And now, your hosts, Jay and Noel. Good morning.
I thought I would use those few seconds to, tidy up a little bit, but no. It's
No, not
like-
really.
It's still square.
Yeah.
I thought
Hey,
you would be
welcome to the
fixed up
show,
into
guys.
1080. Yeah, welcome to the show. Okay, so what are we doing today? Are we talking about Bohol, the Manila Coffee Festival that we just came
Yes.
from?
That's right.
Yes, please.
Well, yeah. So we're gonna dive into. We're gonna catch up in regards to your visit to the Manila Coffee Festival. Also, we're gonna talk about what the heck is going on in Bohol. This is really, really disturbing to me. Also, might be the end for TikTok in the US. We don't know what's going on. I don't know. I mean, I know it's past, but we're gonna dive into that and the possibility of the Philippines going into war with China. So, how you doing? Hey,
Jeez.
Tin. How are you? Huh?
We are already collecting our sardines cans and
Yes.
slowly buying our tissue paper
Look.
and
What is
brushing
that?
up on my Mandarin.
Is that the ticket?
Oh.
Oh, that's kind of fancy for a festival ticket, actually.
Yeah, that's so nice. I'll show you this.
I don't have any complaints, but while she's ripping out the tickets,
Yeah.
good thing that we got the tickets online because
Yeah.
online they were 350. Face to
Oh.
face, if you got it at the venue, 500.
It's usually like that anyway. That's why I've been forcing you to get it online because typically it's cheaper to get everything
Right.
online.
And then
Yeah.
free parking.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
You know the little pleasures that we have.
Right. So how was it? Was there a lot of people?
Yeah, super
Super. It was day 3.
crowded.
A quick recap of what happened. So we invited Roberto to get on the show. Turns out he's doing a speaking engagement. He was going to be on stage to talk, and
Right.
then true enough, yes, exactly, Dagan. The little things. It's the little things that
Exactly.
we remember. So yeah, so we got the tickets online, and then we got there. It was so funny because when we went into the parking, I was so worried because I sort of cut in line because I was just following this other guy on a motorcycle,
Right.
and then when I get there, I find out that the guy that I was following was an employee of Marriott Hotel. So it was like, oh,
Oh, really?
so you followed the wrong guy. So meaning I didn't get a parking ticket, but
Right, right, right.
it wasn't really a big problem. They just asked me to register, fill out my name. We walked up to the venue, and lo and behold, 10 o'clock. We were there like right on the dot. A lot of people already. It was day 3 of what turns out to be a 3-day Manila coffee festival event.
Right,
So,
right, right.
so they already had 3. So if anything coffee related, coffee paintings, coffee food, coffee
Oh, so it's
firefighter,
not just food and drink. It's like everything.
anything and everything related to coffee.
Pastry,
Right.
croissant, then something.
Yeah, everything but
Machine.
the other thing that was nice about it. So of course, when you talk about coffee, there's a little bit of culture going on there. We picked up a couple of brochures about
Right.
touring Metro Manila, and we were like, "Ooh, I haven't done
Yeah, so
that
sad
before."
lang, di kami nakakuha ng passport.
And
Ano yung
Naubusan
pass?
pa
Oh, because of the
kami.
giveaways.
yeah, one of those
A passport for tour.
Right, right, right,
touring
right, right,
Metro
right, right.
Manila. But it's also nice that Dagan, if I'll try to send him the link, just give me a
Yep.
second. I only have 2 hands. But I also wanted to talk to Dagan about it because there's a lot of stuff going on about, heritage, culture, taking care of the Filipino traditions that we have, that kind of thing. But yeah, turnout was really, really good in a sense that I'm sure all the organizers and I'm sure all the merchants, the ones that participated,
Right.
I'm sure they got back all their investment because there was just so many people there. But yeah, I mean, if you are a coffee connoisseur, if you know the difference between a French press and drip and this machine and that machine, it's like every kind of shape and size of coffee concoction machine that you can think of was there.
That's awesome. For the third day, it being crowded, typically that's surprising, but in the Philippines, no, because Filipinos are really, really into and love their coffee, especially the iced coffees. I've never been to a place or met anybody culture-wise that loves coffee as much as Filipinos do, which I don't understand because it's so hot in the Philippines, and they prefer to drink their coffee hot. Which is, I'm like, all right, dude, go ahead. You're walking around in 100-degree weather drinking coffee all the time. Sure.
Speaking of which culture, there was an interesting talk there with Joey Ayala about how coffee is like the stimulant for music creation,
Right.
creativity, and that kind of thing. It was really interesting. Still having, I still need a couple of minutes to sort of digest everything that happened, but basically it was really insightful in the sense that there was also this young lady that happens to be the same tribe as that Wang Od lady, that 109-year-old famous tattoo artist. So there were a lot of the younger generation that were also there talking about basically culture and how that connects to everything that's going on now, kind of thing.
Right.
And just everything just circling around coffee. And then of course Roberto's talk was about blending all of that history and everything together. Looks like his new camera just turned off.
What happened? What's going on?
You can share the image.
Disconnected. Hold on, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go try to send
There's a image na sa FlipSide.
I'll go try to send what's his face, Dagan, the link. Sorry, it took a bit. Here we go. Copy paste the link and hop in when you can. Let's see what Dagan says here. Free parking, yes. It's the little things. Init kaayo. Yes, it was. That was another thing. It was a good thing that Roberto and the guys that we wanted to see talk today were all on a Sunday, because we would have thought twice about going today if it weren't a Sunday. But no, it wasn't actually really hot. So no traffic on the way there. It was a nice Sunday ride, and the weather wasn't too bad at all for being Metro Manila on the midday. Old lady who touches every guy.
Jason, where are you?
Is there? I sent the link to Dagan also on the StreamYard in case you want to hop in. I think Jason is trying to get back on. on the stream. He got himself a new camera, and then the birth pains of connecting the external camera to the computer. What's this image? Let me put him on. Let me just see what's going on here. I hope he's not in the toilet. Uh-oh, that's not what we wanted to share yet. Hold on a second. Oi, is that Dagan connecting?
Hi, Dagan.
Hey.
Yeah, help me out here. Jason kicked himself out with his new camera.
Hey, it happens. I just spent every dime I have on a brand new GoPro vlogger kit, and it lasted 3 days. So,
Whoa.
yeah, way to go, GoPro.
Hold on a second. Let's talk shop.
DJI.
Let's talk shop real quick. Let me take out this remove from stage. Let me see while we're waiting for, bro. I was bragging to you about my DJI action camera, right? So I use it for the motorcycle.
Yeah.
For the motorcycle. Right about midnight last night, I started charging the camera, did a couple of tests. It gave me this temperature is too low, meaning it's like -1 degree Celsius kind of thing, telling me that the temperature was too low and that it couldn't record.
Interesting.
So I couldn't sleep last night. Went to DJI, forums this morning, basically saying you got to send it back in. I mean, send it to them, and lo and behold, there's no service. Well, there is a service center here in the Philippines, but you gotta deal with them differently from the way it is in North America and everywhere else, like Europe. Anyway, long story short, I get to the event. Something just told me to just bring it in case it works, and then I get to the event and it works. But on the way to the event, though, this is like my little dash cam, so in case there's an accident on the way or what, I got it on camera. But so I felt so naked on the way there.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, when we get to the event, it starts working, and then now it's like nothing happened. I got it with me and got some footage here, but I just haven't been able to upload it. But yeah,
I've got a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, an 8, and now the new one that just broke. So the only one that still works is the 5.
Oh.
So
this is GoPro though.
Yeah, but it happens.
How's their customer service? Is it as terrible as?
It was pretty good. They've always sent me a refurbished or new camera when mine goes down. I didn't do it fast enough for the 7, so I didn't get it. But with the 10 that I just bought that lasted 3 days, they sent me the RMA form and they sent me everything to get it new. The only trick is that it's the Philippines, so that whole we'll get it to you in 7 to 14 days shipping. Who knows how long that could be out here. So, but I did pack it up and I printed the RMA forms. I built a little box, bubble wrapped it, and sent it off. So hopefully I get a new one here soon because I really need it.
So the good thing about this one is the service center is just in Makati. But can you believe it? If you were anywhere else around the Philippines?
Oh, yeah. And then, so the even worse part about it that I found out logistically was when you're out here, they don't want you to send it to LA. They want you to send it to the Singapore factory. And then they're like, all right, well, we'll send you a free shipping label. Well, try telling a Filipino shipping company in the islands that I've already prepaid for this. You just have to ship it for free. You don't get no money from me. Their heads were spinning, and I even had an interpreter with me, and they're like, no, you have to pay to ship this. And I'm like, this is a prepaid return shipping slip. And they're like, no, it doesn't work like that here in the islands. I'm like, but all you have to do is just put this in the mail. And the people at the postal office and at LBC were like, no, we're going to charge you. And so I still had to pay to send it. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Maybe
because in America you just slap a shipping label on that they print you and send it out. But so what's going on, guys? How are you guys? How is everybody?
Yeah, nice of you to reach out. We actually, to be honest with you, I didn't want to put a stain on this relationship, but I was thinking about getting in touch with you today because we're going to be talking a whole lot about Bohol.
Well, I've got plenty to talk about on this subject, and I've got the big time companies that are involved in this to call out, and I've got some journalism stuff that I've already put on them. So
And then Jason and I were like, no, but it's nakakahiya. It's like a little bit embarrassing. We just invited him last week, and it's we don't want to take too much of Dagan's time. He might be cooking, and then lo and behold, you messaged us. Please tell us what's going on down there. Is it like big news? Are the barangays talking about it, or
No,
is it only a
I would
Metro
say
Manila
that it
thing?
is. No, I would say it's actually more of just a zennial baby cancel culture fad that's happening right now. Because number one, I've already been to that resort. That resort's been there a long time. That resort was done properly. That everybody's all controversial about in the Chocolate Hills. That thing's been there, and that's a native family who's owned that land for years, and they did it right. And all of a sudden, someone just wants to take up cancel culture on it and kind of jump the gun on it. I think it's a little ridiculous. But the owner's son put out a pretty good post last night about it, and he was pretty on point with it. So I don't know. I think it's kind of just a hype cancel culture viral thing right now. I think no one will give a crap in 2 weeks. So
what are we talking about now? I apologize for
can't
being
hear you,
gone.
brother.
Sorry.
The resort. The resort. Yeah. I don't know if we could. I could hear.
Can
Jason.
you guys hear me?
Oh,
I could hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, sorry about that. I really had some technical difficulties where my computer shut off.
Dagan, hold on. Dagan can't hear you. I don't know, for some reason or another, he can't hear you. But yeah, we jumped on that resort right away. So, but what I'm a bit torn about this. I get what you're saying, Dagan, but on the heritage side, on the sacred piece of land, kind of, what's your take on that, though? The fact that it's like right on the foot of the Chocolate Hills.
I think we go back to the same mentality that we used in our last podcast that we all discussed, where you have to humble yourself and realize that everything is built on the burial of someone else's generation. Everything. I mean, there are people have been on these islands for 150,000 years. I mean, there's resorts that are on burial grounds everywhere. It's not like it's a legitimate like cemetery or native burial protected tribal land. It's just a valley right in the middle of two of the Chocolate Hills, and they maintain it. They do a great job with it. I don't really think people understand that, like, what it takes to maintain land and to maintain property and to maintain tourist property. It's a lot of work, and the money that goes into it, they have to make money to take care of these kind of lands. So
is it far from, I mean, is it any comparison to say anything like, oh, what if somebody put a resort at Yellowstone National Park? I mean, is it anywhere close to anything
there
like
are
that?
resorts in Yellowstone. There's houses and ranches in Yellowstone. There's lodges all through Yellowstone. I've ridden my motorcycle through all of Yellowstone. I don't think there's much of a concern, especially when you look at some of the real harsh realities of life. Like, we're in a population fall now. The world stopped having babies. We all started taking birth control. We all started wearing condoms. The world started stopping having babies. Now places like Japan don't even have a generation to take care of things next year. So there's empty farmland everywhere. So a little bit of development's not a bad thing. It's not going to hurt anybody. I think as long as they maintain control and they don't pile up trash like Bali or something like that in the backyard, I think they're good.
I was just
can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can Dagan hear me or no?
I can't hear him.
She can't hear me. Okay.
I can just translate. I can be the guy in the middle. Well, one more quick question, maybe for the both of you or what, but would it be fair to say that this thing wouldn't have happened? I mean, if whatever the issue might be, I mean, obviously, like it wouldn't have happened if nobody talked about it on social media, if no like regular Joe Blow vlogged about it and said, oh, hey, there's a resort, and then a bunch of people just started reacting to it, right?
I think the whole leaders and followers piece, where like cancel culture and things, like someone just wants to be a part of something, and I think you're right there. Like, unless that one dude didn't post that big Karen complaint piece on it, I don't think anybody would have cared. I personally would have been there. I was invited there by Boholanos. And I had an amazing time with Boholanos who were proud to show off this place.
What was the name of the resort again?
The pool was fun. So,
he's asking, what's the name of the resort again?
Oh, Captain's something.
Right.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But
yeah.
So what's the general, how are people taking it? Like the Boholeños,
Boholanos.
the Boholanos, the local people in Bohol, how are they sort of taking the news, or what's the word around the grapevine?
I think that's age and education based. I think the local kuyas and titos don't care. They don't care at all. I think the local barangay families, I mean, BIR's happy because that's another place they can tax. So, that it's more income. It's a beautiful little spot. The locals love it. Like, they love going there. I just think that there's some overprivileged Karens sitting in their fancy apartments that their daddies and mommies paid for, and they have nothing better to do than complain.
Test. Can you hear me?
And I honestly, like there's nothing wrong with that resort. There's really not. And there's much worse happening in this island, and there's much larger investments that have a much greater impact. So just to throw it out there, you guys can do your research later, but here's my participation bag. But Tieza Investment Group, this is a government-controlled, government-funded Philippine agency that is in charge of the largest land development and tourist developments in the country here. And I sat down with the director of tourism and some other people, the governor of Bohol, and a lot of primary large-term investors into a day convention where they did 5 hours of presentation, videos. They showed us all the different major developments and land investments that they're putting up. We're talking hundreds of millions US that's happening around here. And there's some really, really big, and in my opinion, negative impacts coming here very soon for Bohol and for other islands as well. And I'm a journalist at heart, and I prepared a big questionnaire for these guys when we were in that meeting during the food breaks, the meal breaks. And when I got up to talk, and it was my turn to grab the mic at this meeting, and I'm talking about like director of tourism, the governor, everybody's there. I asked some heavy questions, and it was the CEO, CFO, COO, the CEO of BDO Bank, like they were all there. And I asked these 5 really heavy questions, and all of them were like, here's my card, contact me later, talk to my lawyers. So that just shows how like I hit the bell pretty hard, and I have it all scripted right in front of me. And there's some really big impact stuff coming here. Like gentrification and industrialization is here. And you think about how tiny Pung Lao is. They're getting ready to add 25,000 units of hotel resorts and rooms to Pung Lao in the next 3 years.
So before we get out of the resort, so just to put in a clear perspective or better point of view, so this resort that we're whining about is not destroying any piece of land. It's not, I mean, irrigation, sanitation, and everything. It's like up to par.
They're up to par.
So what we're bitching about basically is this picture that there's a resort, and then behind it are the chocolate hills or the Bohol.
It's hidden, isn't it? I mean, it's not in plain view.
I mean, why don't they go after everybody else? Like, why not go after Danao Adventure Park? That was a beautiful canyon, beautiful valley, beautiful canyon, mountains in the background, and they built a high-rise rope swing, base jump, zip line park across the whole thing. So,
yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
Everyone loves Danao Adventure Park. It's just kind of like a.
He still can't hear me though. Yeah.
Say that last part again, Dagan.
Sorry, I can't hear him still.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe is it me? Do I need to hop on and off? I don't know.
It's fine. But I missed your last sentence, so it sounded important. Something about Danao.
Danao Adventure Park. It's like people pick and choose their battles in a pretty petty way. And there's some things that have massively negative impacts. Like you look at Hanan Resort and the other 7 resorts that they're building at the tip of Pung Lao and BOHOL, right? Like they're they're going to put 7 new resorts at the tip of Peng Lao, where there already isn't water, there already isn't trash and waste management systems, and you already have enough. There's so many tourist boats just in the Peng Lao area that you can't swim in the water anymore because it's full of 2-stroke diesel and oil runoff.
Can you tell him to try to log off and log back on if he can? Yeah, I just
Jason's
can't.
asking if
Yeah.
if we could kick you out for a minute and then just click on the same link that I sent you and then see if we can hop you back on so that you can hear him, kind of thing.
Of course, I know. I miss his voice. Let me hop on and off.
Thanks,
man.
Dagan.
I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ, man.
It's fine.
All the days.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, it's annoying. It's really annoying. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. It's like the clarity of the picture really balanced out with kicking my voice out and everything. Jesus, man, whatever.
It's all part of birth pains of figuring all these technicalities out.
All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
1, 2. Hey,
there you go. Jesus Christ. I had so many questions pop up and I can't get it out because nobody could hear me.
Go for it.
So I don't want to linger too much on this any longer, but for one of the biggest question is, how did it get started to beginning? Because this is it's supposed to be a protected natural national treasure, so to speak, right? And granted, a lot of these are private properties, but there are their own kind of standards and rules that they need to abide by. So how did it get passed to begin with? I mean, I know it's fine. They did what they did, they're within par or within rules or whatever it is that they built. They know it's not causing any kind of natural issues and whatnot. But to me, something like this, all these decades that's already there, why all of a sudden put something right smack in the middle?
Well, I don't know, but I think the biggest problem is that you're going to see, I'm looking at this new Rappler.com article that they just released on Facebook right now in the BOHOL Peng Lao group.
Right.
And they're stating now that this is so bad that they're going to, because of the cancel culture, the weak municipality or government who doesn't want to stand up to cancel culture, just like every other one, like everyone in America cannot handle cancel culture. They'll just go, okay, whatever you need. And so they're now pulling the permit for this beautiful resort, tiny, non-effective resort that's been here for years. Now they're going to pull the permit for it. So now we have to watch it turn into a pile of trash.
Yeah, how many years has it been running already?
Yeah,
we kind of got the impression that it just opened this week.
I've been here 2 years, and I was there last year.
Oh wow! Because we kind of got the impression that it only opened this week.
Yeah, so that's what's making it a bigger issue. But now it's even a huge, even bigger issue because you're saying that it's been around for years, it's been operating, and they're just now bringing it up
because it went online.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
People are seeing it online.
So now they're saying the permit's been revoked. So now it's going to become even bigger eyesore as it falls into disrepair and people abandon it. So now you will have it, but if you would have left it and let them maintain it, there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, yeah. So it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it. I mean, my only contention now really is how did it even get started? But now it's obviously too late. Nothing else you can do.
Yeah,
nothing else you can do.
There's nothing. I think.
There are other bigger fish in the sea.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. There are massively, like, I'll do it one more time just so everybody knows here. Okay. Tieza Investment Group right there. If you think that this little resort is an issue, you guys better Google and take a deep dive into what this organization is building in this country.
Really?
But I love how well that they're orchestrating things. But at the same time, when I ask these big questions that I asked them, I sent 7 questions. Only 5 of them are controversial, in-depth journalistic questions. And when I sent them to them, all they sent me back was the brochure in response. The lawyers.
Wow.
So,
wow.
And this is actually to the CEO of Tieza, and I have it. And then I have it CC'd and forwarded to the CEO of BDO Bank and the CFO of Tieza right here. And they do not want to answer these tough questions. There's heavy duty stuff happening right now in these areas. Like, you guys are worried about this. What about the lagoon in Dewees, in Panglao Dewees? The lagoon, this protected historical lagoon. They're putting a 400 unit resort that's 20 stories tall right in the middle of the lagoon. Where's the outrage? Where's
So they own Club Intramuros Golf Course, Clark Properties, San Fabian Bagong. So they own a bunch of properties all over the Philippines, and now they're
all
eyeing,
over?
or now they're on Bohol. It's basically what you're saying.
They've been on Bohol. And if you're willing to come in and spend your money and invest, they are your best friends. And they even gave, and I'll tell you this, and look, I love this country. I'm here to promote, and my career is Filipino tourism. So I have nothing but respect for it. But I don't want to see what happened to Bali or what happened to LA happen here. So I'm trying to protect Filipino tourism and do it properly. And so with that, these guys, not only did they give me a 4-hour, 5-hour lesson on how to invest, they give you a 2-hour lesson on how to avoid taxes for the first 20 years.
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you, like, full blown. I have it all on film. I've been waiting to put the episode out. But like, they give you a whole rundown on how, if you invest in this way and you invest in this way, and then you claim after 10 years, you take out a loan and claim that you're going to rehabilitate the facility, then you get another 10 years tax-free. And this, and like, they go through this whole shebang on how you can just flip, make money, invest, and then industrialize the entire island. What's
the right way to do it?
Well, I don't think that's even a question right now, because there's nothing else that can be done.
Well, I'll give it to you verbatim. I'll give it to you verbatim how I sent it to the CEO right here. With massive investment comes massive impact. That being said, what steps or programs is your company developing or recommending to be established to counteract the intense environmental impact that these properties and facilities will inflict upon these small island communities and ecosystems? The last thing that any of us want to see is another Bali. For foreigner investors, and in person, we discuss Filipino citizens living around the world who are ready to return here and invest in these kind of companies, right? They want to invest in their province. They want to invest in their homeland. They make up a massive chunk of demographics of my fan base and my subscribers. 80% of my subscribers are Filipinos living abroad who want to come home and invest in their country. But if they're going to invest in their country, they need to know how to invest. So I say right here, I've witnessed the current boarding houses and shared living spaces that are available for the tourism regions here in Panglao and in Bohol. The industry workers deserve the same comforts that we all strive to enjoy. With the massive influx of corporations and facilities that are being built in these areas, what kind of housing or livable opportunities are you going to offer to the tens of thousands of additional laborers who will be needed to maintain and operate these properties? Where are they going to live? Where are they going to stay? How are we going to provide for them? There's already not enough boarding houses in Panglao Dewees. There's not enough boarding houses for these people in Tagbilaran. There's not. So if you're going to bring 10,000 more jobs to the Panglao Dewees area, where are they going to go? Where's the poop going to go? Where's the trash going to go? How are you going to feed them? And Panglao is already running out of water. So if all those resorts, like the Bellevue Resort at the end of Dolho, it's an amazing resort. The general manager is a friend of mine. He's an amazing guy. They do beach cleanup and all that, but they already have to truck in their water by 2 water trucks every 2 hours just to have water for the resort.
Wow.
So you're going to build 6 more resorts past Bellevue.
Well, maybe it's within their plans and blueprints that they're going to create a proper system.
I hope so,
because it is a lot of questions that could cause a lot of damage, irreversible damage in that case as well. And oh man, it's a scary thought, but hopefully giving them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that they might actually take the proper steps and add it into their blueprints.
Yeah.
Especially.
So I've got one right here that's very easy, and I'll tell you this: it's $1 trillion idea, right? We use microplastics. You cannot get away from microplastic usage in Asia, right? We all know that.
But right? it's going to cost a lot of money.
Right. So here's what you do. You bottle up the plastics, you recycle them, and you do compact kettled bricks where you heat them into pucks, right? You shred it, you heat them into pucks, and this stuff is already built in around the world. And you build them into stackable Lego style bricks that are recycled plastic that can build 1,000-year waterproof, earthquake proof, typhoon proof homes for the less fortunate
system that's
people.
being used in a lot of places over here now.
Right. And instead, we pile up our trash and burn it. If you were to offer some kind of program like that, where we take all these microplastics, we recycle them, and we build something with them, not only are you going to clean the area and provide homes and safety, but you're going to offer jobs for people who don't have jobs to just go out and collect trash and plastic all day.
But that leads to the question of like, okay, who's the company that's actually going to fork up the money to put that in the Philippines? You see what I'm saying?
It should be Tiesa. It
should be.
It should be.
It should be. But in the perfect world, in a perfect scenario, yes. But the fact of the matter is, the money speaks louder than everything else.
Of course.
It's going to cost a lot. And obviously that's going to be the biggest reason. Oh, we need to make more money. We need to create more infrastructures. We need to do this and that. Hey, eventually, you're right. Eventually, they should fork up the money to actually bring something like that in the Philippines because it would help. It would.
We need massive water infrastructure. We need our own power. I cannot say this enough that the Philippines needs to invest in nuclear energy. Like it would become one of the most prominently powerful and amazing countries on earth if they just bit the bullet and invested in nuclear energy here. Like, I live off of a wire cable that's run through the ocean from Leyte. We pay the highest power bill. Well, I don't pay it anymore because I left Panglao. I live in the province. But if you live in Panglao, Duis, you have the highest power bill in the world.
In the world. I heard about that one. Yeah.
19 to 21 pesos per kilowatt.
Jesus Christ.
Per kilowatt.
Depending on your usage, you're like looking at $500 to $700 per month.
I've seen 35,000 pesos a month for a 2-bedroom place.
Jesus Christ.
In
That's
power.
Insane. Yeah.
Because you're at the end of the line, and Tagbilaran's holding you hostage with power and usage, every time that something needs to be done construction wise, you're in a brownout. When I moved here, we're the first city connected to the cable that comes underwater from Leyte. So I haven't had a brownout here where I live now since I moved here. And Panglao, 2 a day, 3 a day.
Right.
Sometimes the whole day, a whole entire Saturday, no power.
Right. Real quick, before I want to get your 2 cents on this one topic, if you don't mind, Noel. I'm going to hog this a little bit.
Hog it.
The last thing about BOHOL, real quick. Obviously, it shouldn't have happened at the beginning, but I agree with you guys in saying that at this point, roll with it. It's gonna mess it up more if you just abandon it.
That's it. It's gonna be such an eyesore now. It's gonna be such an eyesore that now they're pulling the permits for this place.
Right. So jumping in real quick. So one of the biggest things that's going on here in the U.S. right now, I don't know if you're familiar, the passing of the banning of TikTok.
Yeah. The House vote was supposed to happen tomorrow.
Correct. Well, yeah. So, but basically, at this point, they're saying, okay, we're gonna ban TikTok in the U.S. unless you decide to sell.
Hold on, I gotta check my TikTok.
It's still good. It's still running. I'm up to date with it right now, and I just can't believe that it has gotten that far. I mean, their biggest reasoning is it's going to be a national security. Yes, a possibility, right? We all know that.
But it's gotten too late. And then look at the border.
Exactly. I was about to say that just right now. I'm like, people. Check your pens and papers. Let's go back about this real quick. You're worried about TikTok, but there's literally a 4-foot gap that up to this day that's still open, and hundreds of people are still hopping to every day.
So I watched a podcast this morning about that, and it was intense, and it was from a Chicano gangster in L.A. who went to go pick up his family at the border, and he says there isn't a single Mexican or Spanish or Brazilian style person coming through there. There isn't any families. It's all military aged men from the Middle East and from Africa and China. That's it. That's it. So yeah, let's worry about TikTok, guys.
Yeah. So, but I don't understand.
I'm even more
why
upset
would they?
because I know that. Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's like, why would they concentrate on that? Something that's actually generating a living for a big majority of today's generations. Hello, exactly. It's creating jobs, giving pay, yada yada yada. Okay, so why bother it? Just because you think that the Chinese are going to sell it to?
It is a monitoring system. They are monitoring. CCP does have rights to it. They are listening.
Am I here? I can hear him. It's your connection, Jason.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
CCP has connection to it. They are watching. They are listening. And I also do like the obvious fact, and people really don't realize this, but like, have you looked at a TikTok, Twitter, or Instagram that a Chinese kid looks at versus what an American kid looks at on TikTok or Instagram or any of those things? If you look at the Chinese, it's mathematics, physics, science, history, biology, self-help, DIYs, education. Here, they have controlled the algorithms to where it's make yourself more retarded, watch a cat clap for 6 hours. Like it's like TikTok is, from an algorithm control standpoint, poisoning the minds of the American youth. It is.
What's the best part about this, to be honest with you? I don't know if you've seen this, Dagan, but if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna play this real quick. It's where the hearing and they're interviewing the CEO of TikTok, okay, who is not Chinese, who's Singaporean, okay.
Yes.
And I kid you not, how stupid is this person doing the interview? I'm sorry, I'm just saying that ahead of time real quick. Let me share this. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but here you go.
I have.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Of what nation are you a citizen?
Yeah, these committee guys, I can't hear the audio, but these committee guys are they're tough to deal with. I actually know one of them. I know one of the congressmen on that board, and I'm a little upset with him. And I used to follow the guy. I used to think that he was the future of America. And now this is one of those corrupt things that I'm watching him deep dive into. I don't know if you're aware of who Dan Crenshaw is.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Yeah. So former Navy SEAL, former Buds guy, Navy guy. Been there, done that. I've actually met him. We served side by side in. I met him in passage and in transit while he was going from one unit to the other, and spent a few days talking while he still had an eye. And I really looked up to the guy, and now watching how committed he is to this and how much the CPAC money and the campaign money is pushing him to be committed to this, it's kind of like that was like one of my last good hopes for some leadership in America, and it's taken a dive, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's really sad that it has even something like this as TikTok has gotten to this. But you know what? You make a good point. TikTok being used and implemented in different places is different as well, as opposed to here. You know,
it's extremely different.
Yeah, it's kind of like the dumbing of America type of thing here.
Yes, it is.
You know, I'm sad to say that, but unfortunately, that's how I see it. Like you said, in everywhere else, it's used for actual positive things. Of course, there's still the negative things, but that's never going to go away. But majority of the times. And banning it here is going to cause a major effect in a lifestyle that's already depleting here in America. You know?
The only thing I can say logistically, and I know I don't want to like blow this situation out of the water.
Yeah.
But if you look at what's happening globally, if you look what's happening here in the local waters here in the South China Sea, in the contested waters, if you look at what Kim Jong-un just started doing this last 2 weeks, if you look at everything happening right now, the only thing that I can think that makes sense to me is that it's a stepping stone to prepare for Dub 3. Okay,
that's a pretty strong and scary statement, man.
Well, you know my major. You know what I went to college for.
Yeah.
I will tell you that you have to. Sorry, go ahead.
Imagine the headlines: World War III starts because of the end of TikTok.
Well, no, not because the end of TikTok. The end of TikTok is happening because we know Dub 3 is coming. And so if they are listening, and that is proven spy software, then we have to get rid of it. Like, we cut cables, cut lines, close the border, close communication.
Right.
So if this is a step in closing communication and closing their ability to monitor what's going on, then
yeah, okay.
To be honest, like that would make sense to me rather than the circus that they're performing right now.
Right.
I mean, it's just funny comparing.
Maybe avoid the circus. Yeah.
World War I or World War II. That's like, somebody shot someone or some country lied about but this one, it's an app. It's a phone app where people dance.
It could start from there. It might be the stepping stool,
Like I'll be honest, if I saw the Filipino children that I see every day in the streets and on the beach spending half the time that they spend learning a stupid TikTok dance, learning education, a new language, history, culture, art, practicing a musical instrument, they would be 10 times better off in life. But all I do if I walk down the beach is just see 1,000 kids, the 12-year-old, the 15-year-olds that have phones, just practicing TikTok. That's all they want to do.
Yeah.
That's all they want to do. So it's tough.
Well, that's the kind of life that we live in now. I mean, it's basically,
we just want to be a part of the cool thing.
Well, it's where the money is now. It's the way of living nowadays. It literally demoralizes the value of education, if I'm saying that correctly. Now most kids don't even want to go to school because I can do this, I can do that, yada yada yada. But that's a whole different subject.
Yeah, it is. But
we don't know.
It's unfortunate. I just think that we have. If it's about Dub 3, then we need to say it and get over the circus. And there are much bigger fish to fry.
Right.
100%.
Speaking of that, Dub 3, what are your takes? The U.S. deploying a lot of infantry and artillery and whatnot to the Philippines.
Are you starting?
We've always been here.
But now all of a sudden it's being publicized more, and they're adding more and more.
Well, that's campaign year number one. It's only going to look worse until November. Like it's only going to look worse. My best advice for everybody: invest in gold. Get ready to sell. It's really simple. And again, remember, I love the Philippines. I live here. I love it here. But you need Big Brother. You don't have the guns. You don't have the guns. If you want to maintain who you are, then, and if you pay attention to the bases, I'm actually going to Google Map. I'm going to pull them up and I'm going to send you a link on Google Map. I'm going to send you a GPS location, and you will look at one of these military bases that China just built on your islands. And there's 12 of them that I've counted so far. And there's a bombing base, an air raid base, an ammunition base, a fuel and oil depot, a submarine base. They've built everything they need to set up the Eastern Wall and take over the Philippines like that already. And they built these bases on your islands.
12.
And oh yeah.
It's not one resort. It's 12 bases.
Yeah.
It's not a
like. There's just no way that the Spratly Islands and the Sabina Shoal. There's no way that should belong to them. Look how close it is to Palawan. And look how far it is from Hong Kong. Like,
do you have a link I can send?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm trying to pull up on one of them here.
It's a scary thought.
Are you guys collecting sardine cans and your tissue paper, stocking up? Or I mean, if it goes down, Dagan, are you going to be in Bohol, or are you going to catch a flight, go back to the
flight
homeland?
out? Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't need to go home and protect my family back home because they're armed to the teeth and ready for the fight. I feel like as a seasoned military leader, someone who studied war for years, I feel like I could do a lot more good here. And I feel like these people need leadership here. And the chief of police in this local area that I live is a good friend of mine. He's actually here. He's outside right now, chilling on the front porch.
Nice.
And he's a former Special Forces Philippine commando, and he's been in the mountains battling the jihadists here in the Philippines for years. And we have some pretty heavy duty talks, and I'll tell you that I fully feel, to answer your question, that I should be here. I should be here to help save these people and fight for these people, because they don't know, but they are strong. And like Noel has seen me get emotional and like talk about this at the cemetery in Manila, and like we wouldn't have been able to win the war here without the Filipino militiamen who jumped up to fight.
Yeah,
and so
my grandfather was one of them.
I'm more than willing to pick up a gun and stand a post, baby. I'm ready.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
I mean, I'm ready. Trust me.
Yeah.
Guys, I hate to ask the obvious, but we appreciate the concern, Dagan. But why? Where is that coming from? What's the concern about being in the Philippines and helping out, and at the same time, on the flip side of that, isn't anybody saying like, "Hey, Joe, why don't you go back home?"
No, these people here are so amazing. I mean, the vibe and the energy of the Boholanos is probably the most loving, caring, hospitable, welcoming people I've ever met in the world. And they are so happy to have me here, and they're so appreciative each and every day. I actually just got back from going up to the top of the mountain to trade a bottle of rum for pasalubong with pastries for a big bag of veggies from the high mountain farmers here that are my friends. And America doesn't need my help. This place does, and I would much rather be here. And they're very accepting of that here. They really are.
Right.
They really are. So
it's good to hear something like that, because, well, to be quite honest with you, it's human nature to just all about me. You know what I mean? So it's nice to hear somebody say something like that, where it's a selfless thought and a selfless act.
Well, if you can save the podcast, like what happened to us today, then you can save Bohol.
Tell me about it, right?
Noel, check your Facebook Messenger. I just sent you a link. This is just one. This is just one of over a dozen bases, and I don't know which one of you needs it, but share the link.
Yeah, he can share that one. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, put that on the full screen and Google Map and go to satellite imagery and zoom in and be ready to sweat. Be ready to sweat, because this is a high range bomber base with munitions and oil supply.
Where is this?
Fuel supply. This is directly right in the middle of Philippine Sea. South China.
And what? You just happen to like Google it, or just try Google it, one of these things?
Look, I don't want to get into this too heavy duty, but I may or may not have been studying all this, what's getting ready to come, for years. Okay, so there it is. That's one of a dozen in the surrounding area, right? You look how close it is to the Philippines rather than to China.
Yeah.
Now
can you hit layers to satellite?
Yeah, hit layers on the bottom left so that it's satellite imagery. Yep. Now zoom into this base and take a deep breath.
It's hardly in the news,
The Philippine people need to know what China is preparing for. And this right here will scare the shit out of anybody who's got common sense.
Shut the F up. Are you for real?
That is a high range bombing base that is ready for World War III.
In that little island.
I wonder if we could
they came in like Dubai. They brought in the sand and the rock and the concrete, and they built it.
That'd be funny if I could put Street View on.
So, I could basically explain to you what you're looking at, but it's fuel depots, ammo depots, supply depots. And if you look, they even, like military-wise, they've built, because of how many soldiers are on this base, they've built healthcare centers, they've built, track and field, gymnasiums.
Is that a landing strip?
That is a high-range bombing airstrip. That is an airstrip for long-range bombers and fighters.
Jesus Christ. And those are ships inside that bay right there.
Yes, so some of those are ships that carry supplies and equipment. Some of those are dredgers that help suck up the sand and coral to build the bases.
That is a really, really scary thought.
And if you look at the bottom, you'll see the guard outposts where they cut. And this is the sad part. They blasted 100-foot deep hole right through the reef. Keep going down.
This way?
Yeah, I saw that
see-
gap. I saw that gap
Yeah.
right there.
Keep going.
coming
You're
up
going to see it.
right
So those
there.
are the guard shacks for it. It's where they'll blow you up if you try to enter the reef. And that's the hole that they cut into the reef.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
just one base, guys. That's just one.
I wonder if they've actually found this already. I'm sure they have.
No slippity slides or anything like that. No bungalows on the.
That
Beachfront
is scary. Hey, Noel,
That's
don't
just
forget to
one.
send me that link. Don't forget to send me that link.
Oh, yeah.
2024. Oh, wow, and that's pretty recent.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And how far off the coast this is? Do you know?
Let's see here. Zoom in. That is. I'm looking at about 200 kilometers off the beach, which is short-range missile capable.
Mm.
That's a 5-minute flight for high-level bombers.
And you think that this is an actual bomber base?
No, I don't think, brother. I promise you, from my background and my intelligence, and my history in the military, that is a high-level bomber base. But it's not just bomber. They have Marine squadrons there. You can tell from the base. You can see by the amenities that they've established on the base as to what
Right.
they're doing.
They have a legit tennis courts built in, track and field, football or soccer field. It looks like residential buildings. It looks like a residential neighborhood. I mean, honestly, it's questionable at first when this was brought up, but when I'm zooming in and I'm taking a closer look at this, why else would they build this in the middle of nowhere? Jesus Christ.
There's more than that. There's plenty more than that. I'll send another one here. Boom. There's another one. There's like it won't stop. You sit here and kind of just dig into these reefs and start looking. And it gets real spooky real quick.
I mean, you can tell that there's definitely camouflage tents. I've actually seen a lot of those from the aerial view as well, and I've kind of noticed that already in some angles here. And Jesus, dude, this is a scary thought. I don't know.
So you asked, why are we bringing all these soldiers and why are we arming the Philippines? Because your neighbor has already surrounded you.
Right.
Like the Philippines is already surrounded. You're surrounded completely. So
it makes you think like, okay, time to pack up and get out.
like we didn't move first. You know what I mean? It wasn't us first.
Right. There's no way that this was just built within the last couple of years. No way. They've definitely done this.
Some of them are older. Some of them are about 10 years in the making. Some are older.
Yeah, well, looking at this particular one, the first one that you sent us, there's no way this is just started a year or two ago. No way.
No, that's probably 10 years in the making. Solid.
Yeah.
China's always looked at the long game. China always looks at the long game.
They always do, yes. That I can agree with. I can't stop looking at it. It's so scary.
You've never heard of this before, Jason. I didn't know that there were 12, but I knew that there was something going on already. It's been on the news a couple of times.
I've heard it, but I've never been able to, because there's nowhere to find this information where there's an actual base to look at. You know what I mean? I've never been able. You know
me. That's why I wanted to jump on. I'm more than willing to share this info.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Anything else, you guys? We got a couple of minutes left. I gotta go check up on my sardine collection and my toilet. My toilet
I need to go buy some spam. I need to go buy some spam.
Get some sanitizer. Big bottle of sanitizer too. Don't forget. All right.
Yeah. No. Closing thoughts for me. I would just say, open your eyes, common sense, and if you have any questions of how it's going to go, just look at the past.
Yeah.
That's it.
History dictates everything.
And it is better to be ready to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's a motto I live by.
Touche. Touche. Well
4x4
put.
truck, dirt bike, cough drops, condoms. Okay?
I got no problems with half of that. I'm okay. I'm like trying to convince my wife. Okay, baby, I need to renew my gun license, please. I've actually brought that conversation back to her, and I'm like, okay, maybe. Yeah.
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And that is basically why we're arming the Philippines. And that's basically why the Philippine government is deciding very quickly to arm the Filipino people.
Oh, nice. Well, hopefully it's something that never is not needed, or that's all we can hope for and pray for.
That's it. But
hey, man,
thank you so much for having me on, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in. We know you're busy and all that stuff. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for saving the show, actually.
Yeah, man. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. That was horrible.
If you didn't jump in, I would have just been like, all right, that's it for the show today. See you guys next week.
Hey, also, congratulations on the new episodes. Cool episodes.
Thank you.
We just saw it already. Also, my wife
we got
still
a new
can't
episode
stop
out
watching.
yesterday. There's another episode comes out tomorrow for members and patrons, comes out the next day for public viewing. And that'll be the last one of Malaysia. Then we crossed into Thailand. 3 episodes in Thailand, and then the Manila series with your boy there.
Nice. What?
Yeah. Oh, let's go.
Hey,
Manila series.
Can you stay on while we close out? Because I actually got a question about the subscription base. Because I was coming up with issues. Thank you very much again for joining us. And Noel, anything else?
Sardine collections, and thanks, Dagan. It would have been nice to let him know that we're gonna kick him out, right? But he's good.
I did tell him that. Jesus Christ, I said just hang out, Anyway, thanks, Dagan, for saving us again today. Thank you very much. We truly appreciate it. I really love this guy's train of thought in regards to nature and military. For some reason, I just can't get enough of it. He's so knowledgeable in regards to it, and it's always good to talk to him. Anything else you want to add on?
Aside from sardines and spam, I'm thinking if do they have chorizo in can?
Ramen. Never forget. You gotta have ramen. If you could get couple noodles too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they were saying it's cancerous and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking,
really,
what else can I get?
You're in the middle of war, and that's what you're gonna worry about?
Beans, pork and beans. That's what I don't have.
Pork and beans and crackers, saltines. You gotta have a lot of those. Anyway,
I'm craving for what you call that? Yung kanina, yung pinakita ko sa'yo.
Ritz.
Yung Ritz at saka cheese. Oh my God.
Oh, Ritz crackers and cheese. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Oh my
man. That sounds good. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. We apologize for the beginning where I had some technical difficulties. Hopefully, I'll get this kinks fixed. We're using a new camera, so whatever. We're trying to get it there.
Okay, one last thought. I was thinking if Dub 3 does happen and shit hits the fan kind of thing, I'm really glad that we did the podcast, no matter how much it sucked. And you know what I mean? I'm I'm glad I got all the stuff done. Just get it all out of the way.
Get it out of the way. All right, guys. Next episode is going to be tomorrow, actually. It's going to be tomorrow. There might be a little time change that I need to discuss with Noel.
Ooh.
But we're going to try to work something out here. You know what I mean?
All right. Thanks.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us again. This is the Flip Side with Jay and Noel. My name is Jay.
Name's Noel. Thanks for reminding me about tomorrow's show, by the way. I almost forgot about it.
Yeah. Again, thanks, Dagan, for joining us. We'll catch you guys later.
On the flip side.
Catch us in the next episode, Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines.